Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the You've Been Schooled podcast. I'm Rory Gonzalez.
I'm John Huang.
And I'm Carter Elligan.
And today we're going to be talking to you about a bunch of things, but they're all sort of related to social justice in sports, starting from the beginning of it, from like Bill Russell and in his era to now, and how the world and all the leagues and specifically the NBA have really changed in that way. So we're talking about Bill Russell first because yesterday morning we watched his documentary, Bill Russell Legend.
Great
And I'm just curious, what did you guys think about that documentary?
Well, I thought it was a great documentary. I mean, not only did it show everything he did on the basketball court, how dominant he was, how good he was, it also showed a lot of the dark side that he had to go through being an elite athlete back in the era, but being African American, right? So and it also highlighted what he did to kind of show up for his community. So I thought it was a really, really great documentary.
Yeah. I think it did a great job highlighting like how he really used his voice to stand up for what he believed in. I think a lot of athletes today don't really do that. Like they don't want to talk because they don't want to get canceled or whatever. But back then he didn't really have much to lose, so he was fighting for really what he believed in.
Well, I mean, I kind of disagree with saying that he didn't have much to lose because, I mean, obviously, like today, like there's social media and they didn't have that back then, obviously. But like,
I mean,
I was just saying, I was just saying he didn't have much to lose compared to today's time.
Well, I kind of disagree. I mean, there was Kenny Smith had a great quote in that documentary saying that like it wasn't about like losing your job or losing your career when you were sticking up for civil rights. It was like back then it was literally about losing your life. And Bill Russell could have lost his life like for sticking up for something like that, because obviously now like people are more open to civil rights activists and like the times have changed completely. But like Bill Russell was an insanely brave person for sticking up like that. And yes, while there are players that don't stick up because they could lose fans and brand deals, but like Bill Russell could have lost something way more important, which could have been his life or someone he cared about his life.
I'm not saying he couldn't have lost anything, right? I'm not saying he wasn't brave. He was definitely brave. Like a lot of people.
No, for sure.
If a lot of people were in that position, they wouldn't have done what he did. I'm just saying, like if we go to today's time, a lot of people don't use the platform that they have to say what they want to say, say what's on their mind.
Right.
You're right. Yeah.
Because social media is constantly, everybody on the internet's like constantly keeping an eye on like the athlete.
Yeah.
So it's hard for them to kind of speak up because it could get moved into different ways, with how media is shaped today, and they don't want that, because at the end of the day, all these big leagues are still a business. I mean, let's talk about Colin Kaepernick, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he took a knee during the anthem, and then he just basically lost his entire career, right? He can't play in the NFL ever
That's
again,
true,
and that was kind of one of the decisions that the league made, right? So what do we think about that?
I mean, that was really. I feel like that would never happen in today's league. I feel like just 8 to 10 years ago, like the NFL and just all sports leagues in general, I feel like are so different with just how they handle diversity and social justice, just like with the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, like with
in the
LGBT
bubble,
plus, like in the bubble, like there's so many things have changed. Like back then, it's really just kind of like insane how much sports has changed and
do you guys think what he did was like just? Do you guys side with him, or do you guys?
I think I do side with him. Well, I personally watched a documentary on Colin Kaepernick on like his entire life, and in that documentary it showed that racism was something he had to face like almost basically every day. And then I felt like for him to stand up for that, I felt like he definitely thought it was very, very crucial and important, and he had the platform to do it. Yeah. So I do side with him, I think to him it's worth it. Obviously, like, I can't relate to his experience, but from what I've seen, like,
yeah. Obviously, like, the NFL is a business, right? But do you guys see where the NFL was coming from when, like,
absolutely not? No,
they just said you can't. They fired him. You guys see where they're coming
Honestly,
from?
during that time, I can't, because everything was like just over. I mean, people had the eyes on the league. Like, how are you gonna react to this? Because you know, national anthem, you have to respect your nation and stuff. So I can see where they're coming from, but at the same time, as time develops, like as Rory said today, like it probably wouldn't be such big of an issue. But back in the day, yeah.
I mean, also just like, but like relating to what Colin Kaepernick did, like I feel like there was a lot of backlash towards the NFL for what they did. Like obviously there's backlash towards Colin Kaepernick, but like other players were doing the same thing, taking a knee during the national anthem or like not standing up because they were upset that someone lost their job for sticking up for what they believed in, and but that also like does tie it in back into like what we were saying earlier, how like a lot of athletes nowadays are afraid of sticking up for what they believe in, like Kyrie Irving, I mean, a lot of people can disagree with what he said, like it's whatever, but he stuck up for whatever he believed in, and he lost his shoe
Nike
brand,
deal,
And that's why I feel like that's why a lot of people, especially athletes, are now hesitant to say what's on their mind because they're scared of losing, brand deals, sponsorships, whatever. And
I mean, like speaking about like hesitant to speak, there is one person that really isn't hesitant to speak on her behalf, and that is Angel Reese. So why don't we talk about Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark? And some people said that it can be compared to Magic and Bird. So what do we think about that?
I don't know like about that comparison. I feel like there are a bunch of like different aspects towards the two. I mean, obviously for Magic and Bird, like it was, I feel like the main like fuel to that rivalry was it was two big market teams who were big rivals, Celtics, Lakers. Like they were rivals in the past, like before in like the Bill Russell, Jerry West, Will Chamberlain era, and that was kind of like reigniting that rivalry between those two players. And then, but between Clark and Reese, like I kind of just, I feel like there's like a rivalry for different reasons. Like between the two.
I kind of feel like they started their own thing, like a new thing, starting it in college and then bringing it to the WNBA. That's kind of unheard of, and like what they did is really special.
Yeah. I mean, because I feel like the main reason why that rivalry is kind of started is because, I mean, we see it in the WNBA a lot. Like, Caitlin Clark has, like, really brought a big impact to women's basketball.
I mean, I feel like that rivalry is a little bit different because Caitlin Clark has basically almost made Angel Reese famous.
Well, let's not say that, right? Let's not say that.
What do you mean?
I think they both helped each other get to where they wanted to be.
Okay, I don't disagree with that, but I think it's like an 80-20 split. Like
I wouldn't say the 80-20 split.
It is an 80-20 split. Maybe like, 70-30. 75-25.
Before me personally, and a lot of people I know, they didn't know about Caitlin Clark before they knew about Angel Reese.
That's crazy.
No.
That's just me.
No. The main reason on why women's basketball, and specifically that March Madness tournament,
I think,
where
especially
Caitlin
in college, people were attracted to Angel Reese's swag and the emotion she brought to the game.
No, they were watching women's basketball for Caitlin Clark to watch her break the scoring record.
Well. Wait, okay, so talk to me about this. So you think Angel Reese is like where she's at popularity wise because of Caitlin Clark?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I
would say the exact opposite. I would say Caitlin Clark.
She has her swagger, that's for sure. But a bunch of that swagger is feed off.
Like, and there's
Clark.
and it's nothing like against Angel Reese. Like just this morning, she was named the WNBA edition cover of NBA 2K26. Like she has her own.
There's
brand,
nothing against Caitlin
but Caitlin Clark is just like really, I feel like elevated her game. Like this rivalry between those two players is putting her on the map for a lot of people.
We see that like Angel Reese. She said that we're not just watching women's basketball because of one person, right? We're not just watching women's basketball because of Caitlin Clark. It's because of Angel Reese too. The things they did in college, the attention they brought to the game, the attention they both brought to the game. I'm not knocking Caitlin Clark.
We're also not watching women's basketball for two people. Asia Wilson.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But the things Angel Reese did for the game, like people weren't watching women's basketball how they are now before Angel Reese.
No.
Yes.
Okay, if Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark or in 2 different years,
Yeah.
who would be more popular? It would be Caitlin Clark.
Well, okay, look, I'm saying Caitlin Clark's the face of the league right now, right? Yeah. Caitlin Clark, she's the face of the league, but it's not even comparable that way.
I mean, we look at
two different positions. You got one, she's a scoring demon, right? But then you got Angel Reese, who does stuff that's not even on the stat sheet for real. But if we look at attention bringing to the game, I would say it's Angel Reese.
I mean, we even can look at like ticket sales, right? Like every time Caitlin Clark goes to an away game, it sells out way more. But when Angel Reese goes to an away game, it doesn't sell out as much.
Look.
It just shows the 80-20 split right there.
It's not an 80-20 split, right? It's not an 80-20 split.
All right. Well, that's about as much time that we have today on the You've Been Schooled podcast. Reporting from Annenberg Media, I'm Rory Gonzalez.
I'm John Huang.
And I'm Carter Elligan.
Thank you guys for watching.